Hello, good morning. This is Anna Imagination with a Healing Garden, and we're going to do a meditation for beginners. Welcome. We're just going to take a couple deep breaths to get started. Deep in breath in, and deep breath out, and deep breath in, and deep breath out. Deep breath in, and out. Just sit for a moment. Take this space to ground yourself, to pause and slow down. Take this space to ask yourself permission to sit with yourself for a while. Straighten your spine, right up through the base of your neck. Okay. Deep breath in and out. Deep breath in and out. Deep breath in and out. Sit with it again. When we meditate, I view it very much as a celebration of the identity. I see it as time where you are sitting, enjoying coffee, enjoying whatever it is you need with you. Being alone with yourself is, for most people, a huge challenge. We are conditioned at a very early age to drown out the time alone with as much noise as possible. And being alone with ourselves opens the window for exploring all of our problems and all of our truths. And our truths hurt in most cases. As a result, we avoid the truths. That's really what it comes down to. People don't want to meditate. They don't want to be alone with themselves because they are avoiding the truths that hurt them. So when a person resists silence, when they resist meditation, when a person resists mental work, it's because they are too busy avoiding painful truths. To step into that mindset, to finally accept painful truths and face off with what hurts so you can recover from it, is absolutely an act of courage. In my opinion, there is no greater act of courage. There really is not. There really is not anything more courageous than sitting with your truths. Once you sit with your truths, you start to take inventory of what you are not happy with and what you are happy with. And then you start to realize that now that you're aware, you can't do nothing. And that's really, really the crux of it. Once you become aware and acknowledge the problem and the depth of the problem, you have no choice at that point but to change it. A lot of people don't know how to change it. A lot of people don't know where to go from that moment to the next step. A lot of people are so grief-stricken and overwhelmed and devastated that they just crumble. Some people revert and they go back to just closing the door on what they opened and returning to the noise and the crazy, hectic rat race to keep themselves preoccupied. I love the book Fahrenheit 451. It really spoke to me of all the books I've read. And I have to clarify this. When I say all the books I read, I mean that gorgeous conglomerate of ninth grade literature. I think it's funny that the school system has us read those books. Brave New World, 1984, Animal Farm, Lord of the Flies, and Fahrenheit 451. When I was reading those books, I added 2 additional assignments to that list. Heart of Darkness, Apocalypse Now, the movie, and the movie Instinct with Cuba Gooding Jr. That is my reading list. That's one that I recommend to people. That conglomerate of literature really, really just, I remember having my perspective shift and then shift and then shift. I felt like I was standing in the middle of it. And then when I read all of those books, I just went boom, 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 with all of these different perspectives. And then I couldn't not see it. For me, it was so blaringly obvious. I couldn't not do nothing. And there are so many negatives in that sentence just now that I don't even know what I said. So let me try that again. After I read those books, I had to do something. I couldn't pretend I didn't know anymore. And of all of those, Fahrenheit 451 is the one that stood out to me the most. The reason why Fahrenheit 451 stood out to me is because all of the other ones were hypotheticals, not Fahrenheit. Fahrenheit was already happening. We were already driving in cars that were too fast to prevent us from thinking. We were already walking around with earbuds in our ears, sound in our ears, preventing us from thinking. We were already watching television so much that there was no silence. We were already being conditioned, maybe not disappearing, but if you were a nonconformist, boy, was there like a whole group of people to come down on you and stop you from being a nonconformist. It was the girl in the very first chapter, in the very first few pages of the book, that got my attention because I was her. I saw me in her immediately. She was the one I connected with. No one else in the book. She was me. Standing there, staring off into the sky, thinking. That was me through and through. And that image of that girl talking to Montag in the very beginning about all the hypotheticals, I felt like I was reading from the pages of Sophie's World right at that moment. And I had just stepped from Sophie's World into Fahrenheit 451 to say, who are we? Where did we come from? Why are we here? And then she was gone again. It's as if for those few pages, Sophie literally stepped from the pages of Sophie's World, entered into the book of Fahrenheit 451 to drop the philosophical question, who are we? Why are we here? And then she was gone again. Isn't that interesting? If fictional characters could shift and move into each other's stories. And it bothered me, the whole book. I read the book wanting to know, where was she? What happened to her? Where did she go? I couldn't stop thinking about it. And I read the book because I wanted to know what happened to her. And I was so upset I never could figure it out for the longest time. Meditation absolutely takes us out of the Fahrenheit 451 atmosphere and has us sit down and ask these questions. Who are we? Where are we going? What do we want? And change is going to be required if you decide to go down this path. And it really comes down to, what do you prioritize more? Do you prioritize your safety and your comfort? Or do you prioritize your happiness? And most people prioritize their comfort more than their happiness. which is why change doesn't happen for those people. And that's really it. You have to choose between your comfort and your happiness, because happiness does not come to those who make no changes. You have to prioritize happiness. I love the sentence. I absolutely love the sentence. Insanity is doing the same thing over again and expecting different results. I love that line. A lot of people are that way. They do the same thing every day and they're miserable. And then they complain that they're miserable and they want to be happy. And then they just do nothing. And they repeat the same actions that make them miserable every day. They'll pause long enough to go, wow, I'm miserable. It reminds me of Charlie Chaplin's, what's this called? Oh, I don't remember the name of it. Oh, it's like his most famous movie. Oh, what was it? Charlie Chaplin. I have to look this up. I'm sorry. It's driving me crazy that I don't know this. Oh, Modern Times. That's embarrassing. How can I not know Modern Times? It very much reminds me of Charlie Chaplin's Modern Times. If you have not seen it, wow, it's powerful. You see these workers come in. It's a silent movie, black and white. They all walk in. Well, why am I saying that? It's Charlie Chaplin. Of course, it's black and white silent movie. They all walk in to this factory, and they're all running this giant machine. The machine has this thing to it where there's an error and there's an accident. There's an electrical charge. There's smoke. All the workers are killed. The bodies drop. And the next shift enters as if nothing happens. They walk on the bodies and they set to work on the machine right on top of the bodies. So fucking powerful. And that is what I see. That is exactly how I view a 9-to-5 job. Wow, that's deep. That's it. That is how I view a 9-to-5 job. That is why I cannot work a day job. Is because that is what I see. And I see those same people just, wow, I'm so miserable. Wow, I hate my life. Wow, I hate my life. And then they go home and they come back and they clock in. Wow, I'm so miserable. Wow, I hate my life. Wow, I'm so miserable. My God, I hate my life. They go home, they check out, they check back in. My God, I'm so miserable. My God, I hate my life. I'm so miserable. My God, I hate my life. And that is how I see most people out there. And I stood up and I said, I can't do that. I'm not one of those. I can't do it. I can't. I hated, and that's comfort zone. By the way, that's what comfort zone looks like. That's it. It's a prison. It's an absolute prison. Comfort zones are horrific, in my opinion. I can't be around them. If you're not growing, you're dying. That was my motto. That got me through everything. If you are not growing, then you are dying. So by sitting down and deciding to do meditation, you are taking a massive step toward self-journey, self-definition, deciding where you're going to take your life, because you are not going to be like those workers in modern times. You want the change. You value happiness more than your comfort zone, because meditation is not comfortable, not at first, especially if you have a lot of work to do. Meditation is not comfortable at all. So, deep breath in and deep breath out. Deep breath in and deep breath out. In and out. Thank you very much for joining me this morning. I will be here again tomorrow. I have been starting to do meditations in the evening. I really enjoy doing like 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock at night meditations before bed. So I will be doing meditations in the evening from now on. That is available on my Facebook page. All the links are available below. Go to www.honnesthealinggarden.org. You can subscribe to my newsletter, and I provide all the information you require. Take a look at my treasure map. That gives you the most information available. And I have masterclasses and mentorship available for people who seek a mentor or a guide through their healing journey. Thank you so much, and may the kindest of words always find you.